These days, every other teenager thinks that by hiding in a corner and ignoring people, they've become Ayana Koji or a Sigma male. In reality, you don't look like a mastermind. You look like someone nobody likes. Power doesn't work that way in the real world. You won't become a genius by being a cheap copy of fictional characters. The true masters of the game use a dark, classified mental framework that switches off their emotions and turns their brain into a supercomputer. Today, we are decoding this framework. The White Room Project 2.0. First, Phase 1. Most teenagers make a huge psychological mistake. They see Ayano Koji and start sitting at the back of the class, ignoring everyone with a dark expression, thinking people will see them as mysterious. But real-world psychology calls this main character syndrome, or in common language, being cringe. When you ignore people for no reason, society doesn't fear you, it isolates you. People don't share secrets or opportunities with you. The most dangerous person isn't the one who stands apart. It's the one who blends in so perfectly that no one suspects them. Ayano Koji's greatest weapon is that he lets people believe he's an average, harmless student. Only when people think you pose no threat does their defense system drop. So, drop the fake anger. Greet people with a mild smile. When talking, let them do 80% of the speaking. Ask questions about them. When they share secrets, give sympathy. Let them believe you are their best friend. Phase 2 is God-level IQ. Most people think a God-level IQ means solving math quickly or memorizing thick books. But memory and intelligence are different. The White Room doesn't turn you into a storage device. It turns you into a hacker. This is called systems thinking. Imagine you are dropped into a massive maze. An average person runs around blindly, trying trial and error. A mastermind climbs the wall first to take a bird's-eye view. They don't search for the path. They understand the system's design. In real life, society, college, or an office is a maze. An ordinary person follows the rules and complains life is unfair. A mastermind understands the developer's psychology. They look for loopholes. When facing a problem, ask 3 dark questions. Who made these rules? Who benefits most from them? What is their incentive that I can use? When you ignore emotions and see cause and effect, you'll move so far ahead that others will think you're doing magic. Phase 3 is sniper focus. Hustle culture teaches us that a successful person does 10 things at once. But Stanford research shows multitasking doesn't exist. Your brain isn't doing tasks simultaneously, it's switching between them rapidly, draining so much energy that your IQ drops to that of an 8-year-old. To be in the top 1%, you need sniper focus. A sniper, when aiming, mutes every sound around them. Ayano Koji's greatest weapon isn't his memory, it's his flow state. Apply this today. Once a day for 90 minutes, become a ghost. Put your phone in another room, turn off the internet, and lock your door. For the first 15 minutes, your brain will scream for dopamine. Resist it. For the next 75 minutes, you will be in a flow state, accomplishing in 90 minutes what a normal person does in 4 hours. While the crowd destroys its attention span scrolling reels, this focus will put you so far ahead they will never catch you. Phase 4 is chaos engineering. The biggest weakness of today's generation is their nervous system. When an unexpected problem arises, most people panic, get anxious, and make poor decisions. A White Room mastermind reacts differently because they apply chaos engineering. Tech companies deliberately send viruses to their own servers to find weaknesses and improve. You need to do this with your mind. If you only do what's easy, you become mentally fragile. Starting today, deliberately seek discomfort. Take a cold shower. Fast for 24 hours once a week. Talk to people you're afraid of. Make your fear your GPS. When you train your mind to handle small stresses, when a real storm hits while the crowd panics, you will be calm, planning your next move. Phase 5 is the unfair advantage. Top intelligence agents use a concept called information asymmetry, having more knowledge than others. The biggest disease today is oversharing. When you speak, you hand your greatest weapon to others. A mastermind is a black hole of information. They absorb everything, but nothing escapes. Ayano Koji knows everyone's secrets, but no one knows his next move. Apply this. When asked a question, don't over-explain. Take a 3-second pause. Let them speak more. Observe their greed and store it. Never reveal the full extent of your intelligence. Let people think you're less smart than they are. Phase 6 is the architect. You're told to use willpower. But willpower is like a phone battery. It drains by night. In the White Room, there's no such thing as motivation. Ayano Koji isn't a genius because of motivation. He's a genius because his environment made failure mathematically impossible. Goals are for losers, systems are for winners. Don't fight your mind. Architect your environment. To stop eating junk food, don't use willpower. Throw it in the trash. Create friction between you and bad habits. Plan your next day on paper today. Automate your life like a robot's algorithm. What actually happened inside the White Room? It wasn't a school. It was a human factory. A place with no windows, no weekends. The walls were white to prevent distraction. Food was designed for maximum brain processing speed, not taste. While outside children learned ABCs, White Room children solved university-level math. They were taught martial arts, chess, and piano at a professional level. If a child cried or collapsed, they were considered defective and removed. Their mind and body operated at breaking points. This is why the real world feels like a child's game to Ayano Koji. This brings us to Phase 7, the 24-hour protocol. You don't need to enter the torture chamber, but you must optimize your life like a White Room. Divide your day into 3 parts: mind, body, and strategy. Mind is studying and skills. Body is martial arts or gym. Strategy is chess or reading. A person with top-tier skills in 3 fields becomes impossible to beat. There is no such thing as a mood. You have to do the work, whether crying or happy. Treat your task list as an order, not an option. Audit your day and discard people, apps, and habits that don't take you toward your goal. Discard the weak parts of your life. I've created a protocol called Project Summer Arc, lasting 120 days. Find the link in the description if you want to follow it.